Hey everybody, welcome to Snow Talk. Brian Good here on this Tuesday. We have several things to cover and discuss in a very short amount of time, so let's get right to it. On the snowboard, we've got several things really, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to break out in discussion, and then a system for the first and the second, and another one around the 6th. I will try to get to those if I can. The first several are going to take up some time though. Cloud cover, once again, socked in over the area, and the latest soundings still indicate that the cloud deck the moisture is trapped just above the buildings, basically in downtown Louisville, so that moisture being trapped is keeping that cloud deck at play, and it's going to take a bit of what we call mixing to get things going to break that up, and it's still an opportunity for that to happen later today, but most of us will be socked in under the clouds, and it's all because of that leftover residual moisture from that big low that's now impacting the Northeast with a lot of wind and rain and snow. Our system, we're tracking for tomorrow, already on the map. It's mainly a snow producer now, but it will eventually produce more rain on the southern side of it. There's not a lot of moisture for it to scoop up, but at least it has warmed things up in that area. Temperatures have improved, nearly 17 degrees warmer in Oklahoma City, south of where that warm front is, which is kind of draped out right across Kansas into the Show Me State. And that will be in here for tomorrow morning. And the winds will ramp up as well. Here's Futurecast showing how the windy weather will move in, will warm up into about 60, some spots more than that, perhaps lower 60s. And then we'll have spotty showers during the day, but the main rain will be with the front as we head toward dinner time with some lightning and thunder possible, not a big deal there. And then the colder air works its way in. And here's the overall setup here. As we get into late Wednesday night, certainly on Thursday, looks to be a rain-snow mix kind of a deal. Soundings indicate that there may be a period where snowflakes can be generated and melt as they hit the ground. In some cases, it's so warm that the snowflake can't even form, so it remains a raindrop. So that's what we're saying, a rain and snow mix. It would be very much blotchy, if you will, over the area. But not a big deal travel-wise. I mean, the ground is certainly warm, and temperatures will be above freezing. So this is not a big deal. However, it is worth mentioning that whatever moisture comes from this Thursday system of rain and snow mixture could lead to some slick spots for Friday morning's commute, as we are expected to drop to the freezing mark. So kind of something in the back of your mind to keep an eye on there. Also for Friday, another wave moves in. A little trough digs in with another round of some light snow. This one aims more to the north and northeast of us. Could give a light coating of snow, especially as we into Friday evening. We'll monitor that into early Saturday. But it's the one on Sunday that's got the most attention because it's coming down at a very interesting angle, straight south from the Great Lakes, and that typically causes a very tightly wound up system. We get very potent low pressures when that takes place. So there's a good amount of energy here to produce some snow showers and light snowfall for that Sunday system that eventually move off to the east by Monday. So, having said that, let me show you, this is the GFS. We're looking at 700 millibars here, and this is the best way to look at the potential snow events is at 700. And this is going to be the one for Friday into Saturday, again, mainly north and east of town. Not a big deal. Most of us will stay dry. Here's the one on Saturday. Again, that wave early in the day will pass through. I think we'll get some of that dry air by the afternoon to work its way in. That's located right in here. That'll be in here Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday, that wave drops down. We begin to get some moisture to get scooped up early in the day on Sunday. So we could have precipitation breaking out by mid to late morning. And then as that trough digs, it will likely enhance. It'll likely be a spiral, if you look at it on the radar, spiral bands, if you will, of snowfall that will break out, and the mountains here of eastern Kentucky into the plateau of Tennessee will likely enhance some of that. So this is where your higher totals, with the position of the low dropping in at that angle, it's a classic setup for the higher totals to certainly be in the higher elevations of Kentucky and Tennessee. Classic setup for that. For us, we just got to figure out how much of this we can tap into as we head into Sunday afternoon and night, and then by Monday it will dig and head off to the east. So potential is still there for some accumulations. But it doesn't seem to be a snowstorm at this point or anything like that, but it certainly could be a little more significant from the mountains to the east. They very well could get a few inches of snow, if not several, so that's something to monitor for those guys. Looking toward the 1st of February, this is the upper air pattern. Still a good setup here for energy to dive down over the Rockies and dig into the eastern part of the country. We should see several low pressures develop in response to that kind of a jet stream configuration, so winter storms will likely develop. Question is, will we be on that kind of a setup on the colder side or the warmer side? We'll see how that plays out. Even toward February 5th. Now, still a similar pattern, but this is the ensembles. So by the time we get to February 5th and 6th, the confidence gets more spread out because it's not sure. And for good reason. Here's the problem. GFS says that we're still going to have a general trough as we get into the first 10 days or so of February, with a ridge still located here across Alaska into Canada. Classic setup for cold air underneath the ridge in Canada, by the way. But then look at the Canadian. It's centered more to the west, more of the ridging in the southeast corner of the country, which has been a common theme this year. Still could be some interesting weather in our area if you go by the Canadian. And then you got the Euro, which for some reason did not load in the system here. I apologize. Maybe it's coming up next. There it is. All right. This is the Euro, and you see what it's doing here. This is what I was talking about yesterday. There's still some hints that a trough will try to come back off the coast of California. If that happens, you get a split flow in the upper air, and that is certainly a warmer pattern in our area. And that would be the Euro idea. We'll see which one's right. So there's a lot of questions on how February is going to turn out. Keep in mind, last year, we reached as high as 76 degrees in February last year, and we still ended up with more than a half a foot of snow. So just because you have warm spells doesn't mean you can't get snow. You got to take it one day and 1 week at a time, guys. See you tomorrow.